Hello, U.S. History students. This video is designed to help provide directions and explanation for the final project for social movements. All right, so we're going to start up here with a learning target, which reads that you will be able to create a publication. We'll talk about what that form of publication is in just a moment, that evaluates how historical events and circumstances were shaped by time and place. All right, so what is your goal? Your goal is to create a document that examines the history, strategies, and it also showcases your depth of knowledge in one social movement. How are you going to do that? Well, you are going to pick one of the social movements that we have been studying. So those social movements are the Black Panther movement, and then if you want to foray into environmental justice, just know that when you look for information on environmental justice, it is in the same week that we learned about the Black Panther movement. All right, you could study more and do your project on the fish wars. It could be on Hawaiian resistance or on the United Farm Workers. So you've really got four big ones to choose from. So you're going to pick one of those social movements. The second thing you need to decide on is the publication format. So how are you going to create your project? What format is it going to take? Well, you could do a PowerPoint or Google slideshow. You could do what they're calling a zine. So think of it like an online magazine. Or you could create a one-page document that has 4 sections. So you would take, for example, a Google Doc, a blank Google Doc, and you would divide it into 4 sections that has all 4 of these pieces on it. Okay, so I'm calling it a quadrant document. I don't think there's any fancy name for it, but a one-pager, it's going to have a lot of information on there, just know that, with 4 sections. Okay, so what are those 4 sections? Well, the 4 parts are the foundation, the research. Yep, you have to conduct more research beyond what we've studied in class. There is going to be an analysis section and then also an assessment section. Now, after you have created all of these sections within your document, within your publication, you are going to need to find some other pieces, all right? So think of it maybe as a political cartoon, a photograph, some kind of graphic, artwork. We actually looked at artwork of the United Farm Workers movement, okay? You could find music, you could find different video clips. You are going to want some supporting features that support what it is that you put into your final project. Okay, so the foundation part. This is you discussing in writing your reasons why you chose your movement, okay? Which one of these movements did you choose? And then talk to me, discuss in writing why you chose that movement. Here's another way to think about that. I want you to explain your why in several sentences. And at the bottom of each of these, you can see that I've put how many sentences about that I am looking for each of these sections. Okay, you could think about it this way. You could think of it as you telling me your personal reasons for why you chose that movement. So perhaps if it were me and I was in the student shoes, the one that I might pick is the United Farm Workers, because not only does it include Hispanics, Chicanos, it also includes Filipinos. And so since I'm half Filipino, I might be really, really interested in that because that is part of my heritage and I want to learn more and I want to tell you about it. Okay, so that is an idea of how you could make it personal. All right, what is the research section about? So I've got 5 bullets here that help you to think about what needs to go into the research section. So we want some background. We want some historical information on that particular movement. What were the strategies that they used? Did they write to Congress? Did they stand in front of the White House and picket? Did they go on marches? Did they have posters and signs and chants? What kind of strategies did they use to get their point across? Who were the big players involved? Who were the people that were the organizers or the leaders of the movement? Tell me a little bit about them. What kind of challenges did they face? So not just the leaders, but what kind of challenges did the movement face? What were they fighting against? You're going to see the word inequity several times in here. If something is considered an inequity, it means that life and experiences, perhaps even laws, that they are not equal. And so the movements, a lot of them, are fighting against these things that are not exactly fair or equal. So talk to me, discuss, what were they fighting against? Okay, breath. Analysis, the analysis section. So that one is about 10 sentences. This one is 5. How did the strategies used create solutions for those inequities? All right. What kind of solutions came out of the movement? What kind of things were made better? What parts of life were made better because of the actions of the movement? So that's what this is referring to. So this is a question to spark that analysis. This is a statement that says to do the same thing. And then I put here questions to think about. So once again, you don't have to answer every single one of these. This is another way to get you to think about how to do this or how to answer this. All right, questions to think about. Did their strategies work to accomplish their goals? Did they change strategies? And if they did that, why did they do that? And then did those new strategies work to accomplish the goals, to fight the inequities? What kind of solutions came from those strategies that they used within the movement? Or you can think about it this way: what became better because of the fight against inequity, the fight to become equal, the fight to get their point across? Okay, and our last part is, I'm going to move this. Our last part is the assessment. What did you learn? Simply, what did you learn? But we're going to expand that. And that's where this question comes in, the expansion on this. So you can think about that same question with, how did your thinking, your learning, and your research, so all of the work, expand your thinking on social movements? What did you learn from it? What did you get out of it? What were your big takeaways? And then here I have put ideas to spark your thoughts, okay? This is where you bring your project full circle. You can make connections with a vocabulary term or a concept that we've learned somewhere throughout our year, semester 1 or semester 2 on U.S. history. We've talked extensively about intersectionality. You might make connections with the American collective identity. Perhaps you want to make connections with the movement and dominant or counter narratives. Okay, a lot of these, so a little bit of a spoiler alert, a lot of these can be connected to you adding to the counter narrative. The second bullet here, I put be vulnerable and honest. Discuss your lack of knowledge. This is a place that you could start from as far as answering the question here on assessment. Tell me what you didn't know, or tell me some of your preconceptions about this group of people or the movement, and then you can extend into what you learned and how it changed what you originally thought. And then this last one reads, perhaps your learning has opened up a new way of thinking and viewing our world, and you can discuss how that came to be. All right, so I'm going to try to get this in under 10 minutes. That is the explanation for the directions on this final project for social movements. Let me know if you have any questions by writing to me through the inbox. Bye.